Welcome back, collective. This is your new moon in Leo reading. If you're following Vedic astrology, which is actual placements in the sky, not based off the season, but based off of the actual placements in the cosmos. So, but however, if you do follow Western astrology, then this new moon will be falling in the sign of Virgo. So we are in Virgo season. However, as a Virgo sun, happy solar return to all of my Virgos. It's our season, y'all. We be acting up all year long, though, not gonna lie. It's all our season all year long. No, but seriously. So but yeah, this new moon is happening actually in the sign of Leo, and it doesn't actually go into the sign of Virgo until the 25th. Take that as you may. Okay, so I just like to do things as accurately and honestly as possible, not just based off of what's always been. So, and I find, for me at least, Vedic astrology is more accurate than Western, and that's from my own personal experience. So take it as it applies. Remember, my readings, as always, unless otherwise specified, are general in nature, meaning they're not going to resonate with all of you, and it's not meant to. Okay, so let's get into this reading, you guys. We're just going to tap in and get some insight as to what spirit wants us to, as a collective, what is being brought to our attention, what is being highlighted at this time for this new moon. I know that for me personally, a lot has been shifting, a lot has been changing. Tower moments, things like that. I feel like a lot of you may be experiencing similar things. I do also have just a couple of channel messages that did come through this rising. That's so cool. I'm sitting in front of the water and watching people, just happen to pass on these little floating things. I've only seen them in I don't know, Korea or Asia, China. I don't know if it's China or one of the Asian countries, but it's like a stick that sticks out of the water, and it's like a board that floats, and they have these big old parasailing things, that's carrying them across the water. It's so cool. So anyway, but yeah, so the couple of channel messages that came through is that may be significant to some of you is I heard writings on the wall. Okay, I literally had a dream about that last night, and oh my goodness, jet ski. I thought it was gonna fall. But I feel like for some of you, you may be seeing things in your dreams. They may be coming up as an omen of some sort. Some of you, that could be coming up as a sense of being like a writing on the wall, right? Maybe the way things are happening in your experience right now, maybe not only what is happening, but how you're experiencing what's happening is essentially maybe, kind of like writings on the wall for you. Okay. The dream that I had, it was literally like I was talking to someone, like a friend of mine that I know in the 3D. But we were talking about, something that kind of like making things right in a sense, kind of like getting back on better terms. So we're just not in communication right now. And so I had a dream about this person, and then and it was like I was writing on the wall, literally, what what was being said or whatever, like what I was saying. And it was just interesting. I've never had a dream like that, but I don't feel that it was a coincidence either. So I feel like for some of you, you're experiencing something at this time, or you will be coming into this new moon, where it's like maybe your gifts are opening up in a different way. Maybe you're going to different realms that you maybe haven't had access to yet. Maybe you're accessing gifts that you haven't had access to yet. Something like that. Maybe the way you're interpreting messages is changing. It's increasing. Maybe it's like your modality maybe of how you divine, how you do divination. That's divining. How you do divination may be changing. You may be adding elements to it. There may be elements that are coming online for you that are maybe changing how you work with your gifts, how you do your craft. Maybe for those others of you like myself that are readers, maybe the way you're reading is changing. Okay, so take it as it applies. If it does, you'll know. Okay, so what else? Frustrations. I feel like some of you maybe find yourself frustrated more at this time, as in, I feel like some of you, it's like I'm getting this energy of maybe having a difficult time getting away, feeling like you want to get away from distractions, get away from the noise, and you're having a hard time doing that, or you're having a hard time shutting out the noise, shutting out the distractions that are around you. And I feel like one thing that I've learned more in the more recent months that was really helpful is stick to the plan, not the mood. Stick to the plan, not the mood. Meaning, do your best to stick to what it is you set out to do, not how you feel about it in the moment. You know, motivation is fleeting, it doesn't last. So we can't bank off of, well, when I feel inspired, I'll do this thing, or when I feel motivated, I'll do this thing. Sometimes that's where the motivation and inspiration comes from, is by taking the first step, right? Like, for example, when you get in the car, right? I'm realizing, I'm understanding that I like using car analogies because it's so resonant to our vessel, right? The human vessel being the car that, being the car that houses our spirit, that houses our soul in that way. So 2 seconds here to get this readjust here, since I like to apparently talk with my hands and we see how that turns out. So anyway, so geez, now what was I saying? Where was I can't remember where I was going with that. Bring me back, spirit. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, thank you, spirit. I like using cars as an analogy because it's if I feel like it's very resonant for the vessel, you know, being the car that gets us to do things. So when it comes to sticking to the plan, not the mood, that is about, you know, like when you get into a car, right? Sometimes it's like you feel like, I really need to get out the house. I need to get out of here. I need to get away from this situation. I need to, you know, clear my mind, but maybe you don't know yet where you want to go. So the first step is to get in the car, right? And just sit. Sometimes I do that myself. I'll just get in the car and I'll just sit. And I'll just be like, okay, spirit, please tell me, God, take me, where are we going? Like, I know I need to separate myself for a minute. I need to detach from this energy. Guide me, where are we going, you know, type of thing, right? Sometimes it's that first initial step of getting into the car, right, turning on the ignition, that then will lead to what we call the motivation, the inspiration to take the action, which is, you know, actually deciding, okay, I'm gonna go to this place, right? Putting your foot on the gas and your car actually taking you, right? So that's, you know, what it feels like spirit is, I feel like, highlighting for some of you as well at this time during this new moon. It's like I'm a lot of pivots. I feel like a lot of us are experiencing pivots, changes, adjustments, making adjustments, adapting to new circumstances, adapting to new environments, new timelines. That's huge right now. It's adapting to new timelines. Confirmation bird. Thank you, spirit. Some of you have stepped into a new timeline, and now you're being asked to start adjusting, adjust, like acclimating. Some of you it's reacclimating, I'm hearing, but others of you it's just acclimating to the new energies, the new experiences. Some of you have maybe recently moved. Okay. Like my son, he just literally turned 19 on the 16th of August, and literally end up moving 2 days later to another state, right? I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. He's, you know, at an age where y'all gotta let him do what he's gonna do, right? And really just trust that process, right? So, but in him leaving, has also shifted my experience in a major way. So I'm also feeling the ramifications of, you know, the ripple effect. I want to say the ripple effect of his choices that are also affecting me. So some of you during this new moon may be experiencing kind of like getting the brunt, I'm hearing the brunt end of the stick, right? Or getting just the kind of like you're kind of dealing with the residue of someone else's choices. But I also, spirit wants to encourage you that in the shift that you're experiencing, or what you perceive that may feel like a loss, it's making me feel choked up. Some of you really have experienced something that really feels like a loss to you. And trust me when I say I feel you. You're being encouraged to not see that as a loss, but see it as a door opening, see it as an opportunity, see it as something that is being cleared to let in something that you have requested. That for some of you is a sacrifice and you didn't know it. You didn't realize what was going to be needed to be given up in order to receive something else in its place. But I feel like as you allow yourself to continue to navigate through that energy, allow yourself to just let it come and flow as it may, you'll start to see how, oh, this is actually benefiting me. How this situation that, even though it maybe happened suddenly, it was kind of unexpected, you maybe didn't like exactly how it happened, right? By allowing yourself to choose and decide that this is going to benefit me no matter what, as messy as this may be, as messy as I may feel in it, I'm choosing that this will benefit me. I'm deciding in this moment, right? Every moment is the present moment. That's all you have is the present moment, right? In this moment, I'm deciding that this is going to benefit me. And can't nothing but good come from this situation. That's what some of you are being encouraged to decide. That's how much power you have over your own experience as the main character of your movie, of your life, right? Which is like a movie. You are the main character. And so you get to decide not only the place that every character plays in your movie, right? Even from the villain in your movie to the, you know, the protagonist, you know, right? All the roles that all the characters play in your movie, as well as even the smaller characters that seem to have no significance at all, which would be like your NPCs or your bystanders, you know, things like that, innocent bystanders. It's like you get to decide what role each of those characters play in your movie, okay? And that's what it feels like some of you are really being asked at this time to really take this new moon as an opportunity to step into your main character role, your main character energy. This is the time to do that. You're being given new energy right now. You're being given a clearance. I'm hearing a clearing. Some of you maybe have gone through a clearing or done a clearing of some sort. Some of you could probably use a clearing, okay? Um, Take it as it applies. But there's been a clearing. If you haven't seen that yet, that is what could be on the horizon for you with this new moon that's in 2 days from now as I record this video. Okay, some of you 2 days from now on the 22nd, some of you may be seeing 222. That could be a number of significance. Okay, it feels like whatever is leaving or whatever is shifting in your experience at this time is only it's only happening to restore balance in some type of way. Okay, some of you, it's a karmic cycle that has been closed because you've learned what it was trying to teach you, which is what was the catalyst. That was what was necessary to allow it to close. Okay, to get you to be able to expand you to this new timeline, to this new version, this new, you know, chapter, I could say, of your life at this time. Okay, so let's get into these cards, shall we? So, Spirit, what would you like to bring to the collective's attention at this time for this new moon that is in Leo going into Virgo? So, let's see. Spirit, for our highest and greatest good only, clear, accurate messages, nothing else. Our highest and greatest good and nothing less, please. Like how that pops out. Look at this. See what I'm saying? Okay, so we have card number 5, waxing crescent, growth. Okay, so like I said, this is definitely a period of growth. So whatever is leaving, it's simply making room because you're growing. It's like, I feel like what it feels like, honestly, collective, is that you guys are in this energy of your growth is beyond the level of where you can't not see it anymore. It's like when you plant something and you know how the sprout hasn't made it out of the, like, it hasn't made it past the surface yet. This, you know how even, for example, bamboo, right? For those who understand the way bamboo grows, right? Bamboo takes years to grow, but once it finally breaks through, it sprouts so high, so fast, right? Where it can seem like an overnight type of thing, but people don't know how much growth has been happening right underneath the surface. So some of you have been really growing and doing a lot of healing and evolution in private, and now it's time, because your foundation of growth is so solid and so strong, right? You see how strong that looks? All those vines that have grown around the seed, it's like your foundation is strong enough now to where it's like Spirit is okay Like you were hidden in plain sight to give you time, it feels like, to cultivate, time to adjust, time to really get strong in your foundation, to where now that you've done that, now it's like, now you're okay to bloom. Spirit's letting you bloom now. See what I'm saying? So this new moon is putting you in a place of bloom, and it makes sense because the new moon, that's what happens after the new moon comes. The moon phases following that are waxing moons, right? The waning moons take place after the full moon. So this is literally in the five, right? Fives represent change. It could definitely represent conflict. Okay, conflicts that come on the tail, right before the change happens, right? Letting you know, maybe sometimes that's how you know change is afoot, is because you start having upheavals, conflicts. Maybe you're getting into it with people. Maybe you're just constantly bumping heads with people. Those are indications letting you know that things are about to change. And this is Spirit's way of preparing you, not to make you give up, not to make you quit, but to push you forward, to like get you over that hump, to keep going. Okay. So patience at the bottom. Be patient with yourself during this process. Don't be too hard on yourself, because the world is going to do that for you. You're going to get, the life in itself is going to do enough of that for you. You don't need to help it. You don't need to help life make things hard for you. It's going to do that on its own naturally, not make it hard on purpose, but just, not everything is easy, and we all deal with things, challenges differently. So let's see. Let's get some more details as to what we're talking about here, Spirit. For the collective, can we edify this message, please? What is growth? What are we talking about here with this new moon for the collective, Spirit? What is growth? Why is that here? Why is our attention being brought to growth? I'm also hearing growing pains. Okay, so some of you, like I said, if things are feeling really challenging right now and really painful, it's a part of your growth process. But you have to understand that what's on the other side of the pain that some of you are experiencing, especially for those who experience anything that feels like a major loss, it's only going to get better from here. But you have to choose that. You have to decide that that's how I'm defining this painful experience, that it's only helping me, it's only benefiting me, it's only a part of my evolution. Okay, it's only a part of my manifesting, really getting you in alignment with what it is you're asking for. You have to choose that. You have to decide that. If you choose to be a victim in this, that's exactly how it's going to feel. Okay, so we have pause. So pause says you're being asked to pause before making a quick decision and moving forward. Allow yourself to step back and look at all of the possible outcomes and make sure you're heading in the right direction before moving forward. Okay, so some of you are also this. I feels like this is coming up because some of you, even like myself, I can definitely relate, where it's like you've been in this cocooning phase for, it feels like, for a really long time. Okay, but we have to remember and keep in mind something to really consider is that when we're speaking etherically, right, when we're talking ethers and cosmos, things happen instantaneously, right? But when we're talking about the 3D, it's the densest level, okay, of this existence. It's the densest dimension that exists is the third, right? So that means that the culmination of what's already taken place in the ethers, it takes a lot more of what we call time for that to actually, appear in real time, like physically make itself made manifest, can take what we call time. Okay, so you just have to know and decide that it's already done in the ethers. What I've asked for, what I've requested, whatever it is that you might have, put out into the universe, whatever intention you set, whatever order you essentially place, right? Same we do on Amazon, same when we do our food, right? Whatever order you place to the universe, it's already done. You just have to go with the flow and do whatever it is you're guided to do as you allow it to come in, and be patient with that process. So I feel like some of you are being asked at this time to pause because you feel like, I've been waiting for a long time. And it's like, by moving too quickly, jumping the gun essentially, can make you miss the opportunity. Okay. Some of you are being positioned to, I'm hearing checkmate. Some of you are being positioned to make a move that's going to feel like a checkmate. Okay. But you have to allow yourself to be put in the position first. You have to let it get lined up first, right? Get your P's and Q's in order before you make that move. Okay. And that's why Spirit is saying pause. Okay. Some of you may be trying to jump into something, maybe trying to move too quickly into something. And the next thing you know, you miss the opportunity because you were just a little too soon, a little too early. Okay, some of you, it may even be in regards to like a harvest, right, where your fruit, it looks like it's ready, but you maybe want to give it another day or two just to get a little bit more ripe, right? Just perfectly ripe, by giving it just a couple more days to be before you actually extract it or cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Cut off that energy flow. So let's see, Spirit, anything else for the collective? Any other messages for growth? Oh, is this the card I'm thinking it is? Did I see what I thought I saw? Yep, this card's been coming up a lot lately. Pivot. Okay, some of you, this is about making the small adjustment. For some of you, this is why Spirit is saying pause, because a pivot is required at this time, meaning a slight adjustment. How can you adjust just a little bit to be in better position for what it is you're about to receive? Okay, what is the slightest, move, slightest little change that you can make, slightest way that you could make sure that you're ready for something? Okay, whatever that might be for you. What is that small adjustment or shift that you can make, even if it's energetically, maybe even with your mindset, by just what I was talking about earlier? For some of you, something as simple as just saying that, you know what, this little small pivot I can make at this time is that I'm choosing that, as fucked up as this shit feels right now, that it's only going to benefit me. Only good can come from this situation. Some of you, the shift is literally that small. Or whatever steps that I need to take, they will be given and they will be clear. They will be unmistakably clear to me. Some of you, that's the shift. That's the pivot in itself, is making that declaration, making that statement out loud, right? And then allowing the universe to shift in your favor. Okay. So let's see. Look, worth. Okay. Exactly. This is about knowing your worth, knowing that even if something feels like a loss, I'm worthy of whatever is leaving to be replaced with something better, more in alignment with what I need now. Okay. But you have to know that you're worthy of what you're asking for, even if it feels like things are falling apart at this time, because I feel like for a lot of you, is definitely feeling like that. Things are falling apart, but it's because Spirit knows that you're worthy of more. You have to know that, though. You have to know that. Anything else? Resolution. Exactly. Like I said, you have to be open. Some of you, it's like the resolution, whatever it is, to whatever, look, it's time at the bottom. It's like everything's happening exactly as it needs to. It's just a matter of you putting yourself in a position to receive the solution to whatever challenge or perceived problem that it is you have. Okay. And this new moon energy is putting you in position to be able to receive the solution. Okay. It feels like a long standing challenge that some of you are, it's just like, I've been trying to solve this issue for a long freaking time. Spirit is trying to get you in position to give you the solution to your issue, to help you resolve whatever perceived problem that you're having at this time. Okay. So resolution says, whatever it is that you've been struggling with is about to be resolved. Remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want, but being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief. Exactly. So like I said, and what helps you do that is by making a small pivot with your mindset. Okay. Even if you have to do something physically, you'll know what that is. But for some of you who have not a clue what to do actively, maybe in the physical sense, okay, that is where you can start, is with your mind. Because when you shift your mindset, the actions have no choice but to follow, because that'll tell your mind will tell you what to do, and then you'll know what action to take. You see what I'm saying? So pivot says, sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How could you pivot even just a little bit? Okay. If you don't know physically, that's where you start with your mindset. Okay. So let's jump into the tarot. I haven't yet decided, but I'm thinking at the end of this video, I'm going to add on a portion of just pulling one card for each individual sign, just to, tie it in a bit more. So let's see here. Let's see. All right, Spirit, for the collective. Tower. Didn't we talk about this at the very beginning of the video? Didn't the tower energy come up? I said that. Okay. Confirmation. Some of you, the things that feels like it's falling apart right now is not because you're not worthy of having something or having whatever that thing is, but it's the fact that you're growing. Okay. And when you've outgrown a particular situation, a particular connection, a particular environment, whatever that is, a particular experience, because they're all experiences, right? Things will essentially fall apart to shake your world up. Okay. Towers don't, however, always have to be a negative thing. Even in the tarot community, when I first started, reading and learning about, tarot and all that, um, a lot of people depicted the tower as a negative thing. And it doesn't always have to be negative. It's again about the definition you choose to give it. How do you let that moment or that energy define you? Okay. Even when it feels negative, you still have the opportunity to choose and decide, how is this really trying to help me though? Even if I can't see it, how I allow myself to be open by declaring to the universe. I allow myself to be open to observe and see how this is actually trying to help me. Even if you really don't feel like that, by you making that declaration, it gives you the opportunity to allow that. And you'd be like, oh shit, I really do see how this was actually helping me, how this was actually moving something out of the way to give me something that I've been asking for that I actually need right now. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be a negative thing, okay? Even though the card may depict it that way, towers are just simply representing situations or experiences in our life that we've outgrown, that aren't built, that were never really built on a solid foundation in the first place. So it was bound and destined to happen at one point or another. But sometimes we don't want to look at it. We put it off. We put it on the back burner. We push it aside, act like we don't see it. We think that if I don't act like I notice it being all lopsided or off in some type of way, that it'll just, it ain't gonna fall, right? That's not necessarily the case. It's just a matter of time, and it will eventually. It's inevitable, right? But it does mean that just because something fell doesn't mean you can't pick up and start over, okay? So, Tower, Major Arcana. So that means that this is something that's inevitable, okay? Major Arcanas, they represent experiences in our life that are essentially going to happen at one point or another. You can delay it, you can try to push it off, you can act like you don't see it, but it's going to happen at one point or another anyway. So let's see, what else, Spirit? Hermit. Virgo energy. Come through, Virgos. Welcome to the reading. Okay. Interesting. 2 major arcanas back to back. So for some of you, this tower moment is giving you an opportunity to go within. Some of you are being guided to go within because of this tower that's happening. It's sending you into a mode of turning inward to essentially light up your own path. Okay, some of you, by you allowing yourself to take this time to go within because of this tower moment that has happened, that's where you're going to get the guiding light that's going to take you to the next step. That's going to give you the direction on which direction to go, what to do next, who to contact, or you know what I'm saying, all those details that we sometimes bombard, thank you, Spirit, that we bombard our mind with on trying to figure out, well, how am I going to do this, and I need this, and and all these details that some of you, you're being asked to not worry about them right now. Confirmation birth, thank you, Spirit. You're being asked to not worry about them right now. Some of you are making your brain do a job that it's not designed to do, and that's why it's not working. That's why it feels like things aren't maybe falling into place with that pivot card, is because some of you are trying to make your brain do something it's not designed to do. Your brain is designed to protect you, which is why when we have new opportunities, it feels scary. Your brain will, in its effort to protect you, which, like I said, is designed to do, will try to convince you of all the ways this will fall apart, or all the ways this won't work, or whatever. And it's doing its job. And that's where your trust with the divine, right, your crown chakra, that's the part that needs to come into play to quiet and calm your mind down. Say, no, I know this is scary, but this is good, right? Just like the tower. The tower may seem scary, but you can also choose and decide, well, I hear you, right? This does seem scary, right? But how can this maybe benefiting us? How can this maybe actually be helping us? That's how you can, turn that noise off in your mind, is by challenging it with the opposing question, right? Make it think about that instead of thinking all the fears about what all can go wrong. That's how you counterbalance that, is by talking to it and asking, but what if this is actually trying to help us? How is this actually trying to benefit us? How is this situation actually putting us in that main character energy that we need to be in to, you know, align to what it is that we want, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, Spirit. Let's see. What else? I'm also seeing 7 of Cups here at the bottom. So for some of you, like I said, that could be why you're being, this tower is putting you in a mode of going within to get the clarity that you need, that some of you are seeking, are constantly looking outside for, but it's not coming to you. It's just creating more confusion because you need to go within. Some of you are being really asked to go within. And that's why, because the answers you're seeking outside of yourself, some of you, while it may work at times, it feels like for this particular situation, your resolution is going to come from within. That's why this tower is sending you inward, right? Especially if it's like, it doesn't make sense. I thought I did everything right. It's not happening for punishment. Some of you need to know that. Whatever feels like it's falling apart or is coming up for you as a perceived loss, it's not for punishment. Some of you are making it personal, and it's not. It's actually spiritual. Okay? Because this is like, the hermit is like the sage. They go within and they seek their answers, right? By shining a light in their own darkness to be able to even come out, right? To be able to talk about what they learned during that time of hermiting, during that time of going within, during that time of seeking through the darkness, right? That's how they, you know, come back out and come back out of that energy to be able to share what they learned during that period of, you know, of isolation. Okay. So let's see. Spirit, what else for the collective, please? I'm hearing this, one of these quotes that I absolutely love, that I've been saying for years before I feel like a lot of people actually heard it, was grow through what you go through. And I feel like that's part of what is also happening here. You're being asked that whatever this tower moment is, allow yourself to grow through whatever it is that you're going through at this time. Okay. As challenging as that might feel, as difficult as that might feel, allow yourself to grow through it. That's how you heal through it. That's how you actually get through it, is not by stopping, not turning around and going the different other direction, right? But just allowing yourself to slow down, right? Pause, pivot, right? Take a pause, catch your breath, pivot, make a small adjustment, right? Whether that's adjusting your energy, adjusting how you're looking at the situation, whatever that might be, and continuing yourself, you know, allowing yourself to move forward, right? By going within, and that's where your resolution lies. Some of you are seeking your resolution from other people, and that's not where you're going to find it. That's for some of you why maybe it hasn't came to you yet, because you're searching in the wrong place. Some of you are seeking externally when the answer that you truly need, or at least to the specific, I feel like the specifics that you need it is only going to come from within. That's how you're going to get it, is by making the time to go within, to turn inwards, ask yourself tough questions, and allow the answers to come through. Even if you don't like it, you're not always going to. That's not the point. The point isn't to like or to, approve of what it is you're getting. If you know it's truth, though, whether it feels good to your ego or not, if you know it's telling you the truth, what you know you need to hear, you just don't want to hear, that's what you need to pay attention to. Okay? So let's keep going. Spirit, what else for the collective for this new moon as it pertains to this spread? Clear, accurate messages only, nothing less. 2 of Cups. For some of you, this has to, 2 of Cups, 5 of Wands. For some of you, this has to do with the connection. Okay, Ace of Cups is at the bottom. Some of you, this could definitely be with a, could be dealing with a Virgo. Some of you are a Virgo watching this. But for some of you, this has to do with the connection, okay? One that I feel like is maybe very challenging. This could definitely be a partner that you have, okay? For those of you that are in partnership with someone, this is someone who is jealous of you, okay? For some of you, something may be falling apart. You maybe find yourself in a breakup or about to, on the verge of breaking up, where you're kind of like the last straw. I'm hearing the last straw. I'm also hearing at your wits' end. Some of you are at your wits' end, okay? With the situation, with the connection. And it feels like this tower may create some type of a blow up of some sort, okay? Or there may be an argument that comes up, that may, you know, spark this. It's kind of like I'm hearing lighting a match, and that's what's starting the flame. Okay, someone lit the match, and then they started the flame, and then they're mad because of how you responded. Okay, don't let someone manipulate you into making you the problem when they're the one who lit the match. See what I'm saying? Be mindful of that. Okay, some of you, this is happening because this connection, this partnership, whatever this is, for some of you it could even be business, right? Someone that you're working with, something could be happening that's putting you guys in an argument or some type of conflict that's going to arise or that is arising with this new moon, that's going to show you exactly what you need to see about this person. It's happening for your benefit. It's happening because maybe this partnership that you've built with this person was never built on something solid in the first place, and some of you have ignored it. Some of you didn't want to see it. Some of you didn't want to admit it. Okay, but we can't run from the truth. The truth will reveal itself. Okay, but like I said, some of you, this is a Virgo. If you're dealing with it, if you're dealing with one, others of you, you are the Virgo. So take it as it applies. Okay, don't try to make it fit if it's not yours. Okay, so I'm going to clarify this energy just to get some more insight. But we do have the Ace of Cups at the bottom. Okay, so the Ace of Cups represents it could definitely represent new love. Okay, a new opportunity to actually do something that you love, pursue something that you love. Some of you, I'm also hearing, have maybe put off things that you really love to do for this person, for this partnership, for this union, whatever this is for you. Okay, some of you have put off your dreams to be with this person. Some of you have essentially kind of maybe lost parts of yourself to this person, and now this Tower moment is clearing this away or making this whole thing fall apart for your benefit, to get you back on track, to having a new opportunity, maybe to either do, you know, reestablish the opportunity to do something that you really been wanting to do, something that you really love. Others of you, it's giving you a new opportunity to be loved properly by a new person. Okay, you don't see this coming. That's why it's at the bottom of the deck. This is unseen energy right now. Eight of Swords. Yeah, some of you may be overthinking this. Some of you may be feeling like you're trapped with this person. Maybe that's what you have been feeling, that you're stuck. That you're stuck with this in this union. You're stuck in this marriage or whatever this is. But for some of you, this Tower moment is happening to make it all fall apart, because some of you have been wanting this anyway. But you thought that you were stuck, not realizing that was just a figment of your own imagination. That's what the Eight of Swords represents anyway. The swords represents your own thoughts, your own the things that come into your mind that you allow to make you feel stuck and trapped, that make you feel like I can't get out, or this isn't going to go my way, or, you know, I'm not going to get what I want out of this, or I can't leave because of this commitment that I made. When it's like, I get it, right? We all make commitments, but there comes a point in time where, for one, we have to acknowledge that nothing lasts forever. No thing lasts forever. It's not meant to. Okay, everything in this life is borrowed and temporary. Let's just call a spade a spade. But not only that, as you grow and evolve and you start relearning yourself and knowing and coming into your worth, right, which we did talk about earlier as well, worth, okay? When you realize that I'm worthy of more, I deserve better than what the fuck I've been getting, you're allowed to change your mind. You just are. And the longer you decide that, you know, I can't and I'm stuck, you miss out. You miss out on true love, on something that is actually coming to you just for you. Like, the universe is literally handing this to you, a cup full of everything that you've been asking for, everything that you want, everything you know that you deserve to experience in this life is right here for you. But you have to be willing to choose it. You have to be willing to get out of your head and into your heart space and choose it, okay? Seriously, it may hurt. It may, you know, feel like a heartbreak. You may deal with sadness. That is normal. That means you actually cared. That means you actually have a heart that actually, you know, gave a fuck about the situation. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Okay, so that's what I also feel like is coming up about, you know, we are talking about earlier at the bottom here about patience. Okay, being patient with yourself, being patient with your process. It may hurt to do this, but just because you know that it's going to be painful doesn't mean it doesn't still need to happen. Okay, the longer we take sometimes with, you know, prolonging something that we know needs to fall apart, the longer you take to just allow that, the more painful it's going to be. Okay, because the more the roots, right, the more that the roots get, you know, stuck and more entangled with each other. Okay, So let's get an overall outcome message here, Spirit, for the collective. For this new moon in Leo going into Virgo. 10 of Swords. Yeah, it's done. But the good news is, see, there's always a polarity, right? That's one of the beautiful things about this 3D realm, is that there's always a polar opposite. Okay, so for everything that appears bad, there is a positive aspect if you allow yourself to acknowledge it. Okay, so while something is dead, done, and over with, this is also an indication that the worst is behind you as well. Okay, the 10 swords, the 10, that's the end. Okay, the 9 is actually the end. The 10 represents the new beginning. So this is done. This is dead, done. It's over with. There's no coming back from it. And that's not a bad thing, because it means that you've already gotten through. By the time you get here, it means that I've already dealt with the worst of it. So shit, if I'm already at the bottom of the barrel with this situation as it is, I can't go nowhere but up from here, right? That's something positive. Okay, so look, 4 of Swords, it's giving you a chance to heal. Okay, it's time to heal now. It's like, now that we've acknowledged that the worst is over, that we've done all we can do, okay, now it's time to heal. Now it's time to go within and meditate and figure out, okay, what do I need going forward? What is the next step from here? How do I proceed? How do I put myself, confirmation bird, thank you, Spirit. How do I put myself first again? How do I prioritize my needs, wants, and desires first again? For some of you, that's also what that Ace of Cups is representing, is, that's the only way that we can really allow ourselves to align with that type of love outside, is by first having it for ourselves. Okay, for some of you, whatever this is falling apart, especially if it's a relationship, it's giving you an opportunity to put yourself back on that pedestal energy of putting yourself first, prioritizing your love, the love you have for yourself, restoring that if you don't have it, right? But filling your own cup, relearning what that looks like, relearning what is required to do that for yourself, so that way you can align with the energy outside of yourself that has it to reflect it back to you. Okay, moon. So could be a Cancer. I just saw the Chariot energy as well. Some of you may be dealing with the Cancer. Okay, so Spirit, let's clarify the Tower. Why is the Tower here? Wheel of Fortune, things turning in your favor. Okay, karmic cycle. For some of you, like I said, it's definitely a cycle. You've learned what something was trying to teach you, what a situation was trying to teach you. For some of you, that's one of the lessons in itself, is don't lose yourself to another connection. One thing that one of my distance mentors has always said, that I will never forget, is that the longest relationship you'll ever have in this life is the one you have with yourself. That's why it's so fucking important to make that one a priority. Everything else and everyone else outside of you is a bonus. It's an add-on. But the longest relationship you'll ever have in this lifetime is the one you have with yourself. Make it a priority. Focus on that one. That is the most important one you have. And that's just facts. You came into this world alone, solo, dolo, and you will leave this world the same. Okay, even twins, right? They come in one after the other, but they're still in their own sack, right? So, Tower is clarified by the 10 of motherfucking Pentacles. Can we get any clearer? Can this not be any of a bigger confirmation? For me as a reader, this is the most happiest, powerful card in the deck. Okay, the 10 of Pentacles, because it not only represents, the money and the luxury and the life. You got the family, the love, it's all of that. Physically and tangibly. It's not just the emotion of it. The 10 of Cups is representing the emotion, the feeling of it, the joy that you might feel in your heart about it. But this is the actual physical culmination of all that energy being made physically manifest in your experience, including the money that comes with that. Okay, that's what this is. So like I said, some of you, whatever is falling apart, it's only falling apart to bring you to something better. For some of you, especially if this is about a connection, I hate to say it, but I love to say it at the same time. When it comes up, not everybody's meant to go where you're going. Meaning, not everybody is meant to experience with you and enjoy in your blessings and eat at your table. That Spirit is preparing for you. So for some of you, yes, this needed to fall apart, because the people that I feel like some of you collective were trying to take with you, they haven't done the work. They're not going where you're going. They don't deserve to have all that, especially if they've been mistreating you. They don't deserve it, period. It's not to say that they deserve, shit for food either. You know what I'm saying? But it's just to say that they don't deserve what you're about to experience, what you have put in the time, work, energy, and effort for, period. 4444 on the timer. Can't even make it up. Okay, so let's keep going. Spirit, please clarify the Hermit. Why is that here? Why is the Hermit here for the collective? Clear, accurate messages only, please. Why is the Hermit here for the collective? Clarify the Hermit, please. Five of Wands again. So for some of you, whatever this is falling apart. If this is especially has to do with the person, it feels like this person may attempt to try to argue. They want to argue with you about it. If, like, say, you know, you break up or you decide, you know what, this is done. You've betrayed me. You backstabbed me with the Ten of Swords here, you know, and I'm done. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Some of you, that's why you're being told to go into hermit mode. Okay. Meaning where you're isolating yourself, you're blocking everyone out, and you're deciding like, okay, that was all I needed to separate myself. That was that. Maybe some of you are looking for a reason. Like, I know I need to do this, but you know, I just don't have, maybe you didn't have that spark to the flame, that spark to the match, right? And maybe that's what you needed. Maybe that's what this situation is providing you. Okay. But it feels like you're being asked at this time to allow yourself to go within. Okay. Allow yourself to disconnect and detach from the conflict or from the people around you that are trying to create conflict with you. For some of you, this is happening as well because whoever some of y'all have been dealing with, this person is in competition with you. Okay. Some of y'all don't even know that you're sleeping with the enemy, that you have been sleeping with the enemy, someone who is in secret competition with you. Okay. Even, and like I said, this could also be a partnership, like a business partnership where, some of you, like I said, this is a business partnership where this is someone who maybe at one point maybe did have your best interest in mind, but that's no longer the case. It's like they're seeing your growth. Whoever this person is, no matter what type of title they hold in your life, they've been seeing you grow. They've been seeing your work. They've been seeing that you're changing, that you're shifting, you're evolving. And that's creating jealousy for someone. Okay. So some of you have a lot that's coming in for you on the other side of whatever this tower is. Okay. For some of you, it's like this, like, for example, this is like a person that you were maybe started a business with or something like that. And they're all of a sudden deciding that, oh, I'm going to, you know, I want to work with this person instead. And they just leave you out to dry. Like, what the fuck? Like, we started this together and now you're just outing me like that. Oh, okay, bet. Right. This is spirit saying you don't even need to fight them. You just need to take your time, go within, pause, and make a slight shift and allow yourself to see what doors this is really opening up for you. Okay. Don't give them the energy. Don't satisfy them by giving them the reaction that it feels like they want from you. Some of you, this person wants you to react. They want you to go overboard, and that's all that's going to do is throw you out of alignment for your blessings. Okay. Because that's what happens when you allow your emotions to override your alignment. It just throws you out of alignment, and that could take time to get you back, and then you're upset with yourself because you let it happen. Okay. Don't do that to yourself. All right. So let's keep going. Spirit, clarify the Two of Cups. Why is it here? Look, Eight of Wands. Things are about to start happening and unfolding for you very quickly. Oh, I just hopped fish. That's crazy. It just hopped way above the water. That was wild. Oh, I love it. Clarify the Two of Cups, please, Spirit. Why is that here for the collective, for this new moon? Why is the Two of Cups here, please? Queen of Cups. It didn't come out, but it did flip over. For some of you, this Two of Cups is definitely could be someone that you have a lot of feelings for, you care a lot about. Judgment. This is awakening. This is you answering the call when it comes to this connection. Okay. For some of you, this is about literally waking up to the fact that this is no longer, some of you, that's part of what this tower moment is that this person, maybe this situation, this relationship, this union, whatever this is for you, this Two of Cups, whatever that represents, it's like it's awakened you to your calling. For some of you, it's helped you. This person, this tower moment, whatever the situation is, it's like it's awakened you to see that this is not what the fuck I'm going to deal with for the rest of my life. This is not someone that I can see myself with long term. I'm not going to keep investing if this is how this is going to go. It's just like you're not going to do it. And some of you as well, this is happening because for some of you, this connection is blocking you from your calling. Some of you, it's keeping you from answering the call of your mission, your assignment, what you came to do in this lifetime. That's what I was talking about earlier. Thank you, Spirit, about losing yourself. Sometimes we lose ourselves when it comes to different connections, not even realizing that's what the fuck is happening. So it's like this tower moment had to happen, right? to get you back in alignment, to put you on back on, you know, in your purpose. Okay. That's, woo, the depth. Okay. The depth. Look, Wheel of Fortune again. So 1, 2, 3 major arcana here so far. Spirit, clarify the Five of Wands. Why is that here for the collective, please? I'm trusting that I will have enough space to complete this reading while I'm not at the house and I can't just, you know, airdrop this this footage. So we have the Six of Swords that landed on the floor, clarifying the Five of Wands. So Six of Swords in reverse, okay, with the Five of Wands. And that's why this conflict is coming up, because this person, that's why I said, Spirit is saying, collective, that you need to go within, you need to disconnect, isolate yourself from this person, because this person doesn't want you to move on. They're going to try to keep you here. They're going to try to cause conflict, to create conflict in your life or your experience around the situation to keep you from moving forward. They know that this is going to free you in some type of way, whether it's from the karmic, you know, or energetic binding that they had on you, or the tie that y'all had together. It's like they know that's about to be severed. They know that this is done, right? And so if they're figuring, if we can, you know, throw the collective off, right, get the collective out of character and make you do something stupid, or make you respond in such a way that puts you in jail or something like that, you'll miss out. Don't let that happen, collective. Okay, you're too close. You're too close. Okay, the worst is already behind you. Don't let this person or this situation take you out of character. Okay, like I said, it's right at the top of the deck. Okay, you have a new beginning coming. Okay, and it definitely may put you in your head, and that's what it's designed to do. It's make your brain is going to try to protect you, try to make you overthink and be like, this, you know, this can't be, this is too good to be true, or, you know, whatever. Don't let your brain convince you to stay where you don't belong, especially if you're not being properly valued. Don't let your brain keep you somewhere that you've outgrown. Okay, because it's comfortable there. So Spirit, clarify the Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords here, please? Why is that here for the collective, for the outcome? Clarify the Ten of Swords. Clear accurateness. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands in reverse. So I'm hearing delays. Okay, something, the worst is behind you, but it feels like something may be feeling delayed to help you not miss it. It's like Spirit's way with the pause energy. Thank you, Spirit. It's like this delay, or seeming like delay. It's not really a delay. It's just giving you time to make the adjustments, the pivot that's necessary to be able to receive this when it comes in, so you don't miss it. Okay? Delay is not a denial. Let's be clear. The universe only, I strongly feel like the universe only basically tells us yes. Okay? Either says yes to your request, not right now, or there's something better. That's it. Okay? So for some of you, that's what this Eight of Wands in reverse is representing. It's not saying that you can't have what it is you want. It's just saying that this is so fresh, you need time. You need a little bit more time before you're ready, because if this was upright and things just started taking off, you would be like, holy shit, I don't know. And then you know what I'm saying? You jump off in a hurry. You jump ship in such a quick, fast, and in a hurry, because you didn't even have time to acclimate to the change. You didn't even have time to acclimate to the new opportunity, right? It's like getting a new job, let's say a promotion or something, right? And before you even have the new promotion training, right, to prepare you for this new role, it's like they just throw you to the wolves, so to speak, and you end up quitting, right, the job, because you got thrown in quicker than you were ready for. You didn't even have a chance to prepare and really acclimate to this new role, to accepting like, holy shit, I did it. I got this new role, and now all these new responsibilities and all these new things I have to learn, and right? So that's why it feels like this is happening like this. It's not saying that you're not already there, that you're not already, that, you know, the bulk of the conflict is already behind you, but it's just things are now slowing down for you in a sense, right? To ensure that you're not going to miss your blessing when it comes to you. Okay. And that for me is one of the biggest blessings that the universe can give us, is by way of making me wait so I can actually enjoy it when it comes a bit longer. We all know that everything's temporary. So if by me waiting just a little bit longer to give me a little bit more time to adjust my energy, to align in the proper way so I can enjoy whatever this is coming a bit longer than I probably would have, right? Or a lot longer than I would have, I'd rather do that. And that's just me personally, right? So Queen of Pentacles is at the bottom. Like I said, it's like this is supporting you in adding to. It doesn't feel like a restoring, although for some of you it may be a restoration of your finances or your stability. Others of you, this feels like this is helping build on what's already there. This is just adding to what's already there. You see what I'm saying? So fucking annoying. Anyway, so let's wrap with sign or synchronicity that you might need right now, that you can use at this time to help you, that you may be seeing, letting you know you're on the right track, or that you can look for to let you know how close you are. Okay, so let's see. And this is from my Signs and Synchronicities Oracle deck. If you're interested in this deck, feel free to reach out. Let me know. It's 88 cards, and it's a bunch of different signs that support you in essentially tapping into your own intuition about what it might mean for you when you see it, not just Google and what everybody else has to say, on a personal, intuitive level. Okay, so let's see. Spirit for the collective. What is a sign or synchronicity that they need at this time? Ooh, wolf. Come through, Spirit. Some of you may be seeing white wolves or wolves in general. Okay, anything else? Orbs and auras. Okay, so some of you may be seeing orbs. You may have seen them in the video. Gate. This is like helping you go over something, get over something, untrap yourself from something. Okay, untrap yourself from something. That's what the Eight of Swords energy was giving me earlier in the reading. Okay, so let's see. So wolf, solo phase of your journey. Exactly, like I said, people can't go with you where you're going. People can't go with you. It's not because, and for some of you, it may not just be because they're not worthy of it, but for some of you, this is an experience that some of you are coming into, or maybe a phase of your life that is only meant for you. There's things that you're needing to learn at this time. There's ways that maybe you're needing to grow, that you don't need the outside influence that's going to distort this process. Okay. And so for some of you, that's why it's falling apart. Okay. So solo phase of your journey, be the leader where it's guided. Where you're being guided to lead, that's where you lead. Okay, whether it's in home, with your family, kids, workplace, whatever it might be, right? Partnership, whatever. Teach what you know. Lead, don't follow. Okay, teach what you know. You don't have to know everything, but start from where you are. You're being guided to start from where you are. You don't have to have all the answers. Just start from what you do know, what you are aware of. Okay, and you'll continue to learn as you go. Let's see. Lead, don't follow. Lone wolf, confidence, inner strength, strategize, on the hunt, tunnel vision, observe, don't absorb, determined. Okay, so take the keywords as they apply. Okay, but wolf is the first one, and then we have orbs and auras, ancestral support / presence. So you're being guided at this time. You're definitely highly safe, right? I like to say safe over protected, and the reason being is because when you send out an energy of needing protection, okay, that's also sending out simultaneously, right? The polarity, that's also sending out simultaneously a need to have something to be protected from. Okay, just something to consider. So let's see. Angels, guides watching over you and guiding you. Divine shielding, downloads and guidance. Cosmic DNA upgrades. Ethereal communication from a loved one. So some of you may have a loved one, especially like I said, for those of you who experienced a major loss, whether this is a transition, right? Someone has passed on, transitioned off this planet. That is, okay, could be where this communication is coming from. Someone is guiding you. That could be also someone, a spirit in the ethers, right? An ancestor of some sort that is maybe acting as a catalyst, right, to whatever is falling apart to actually come together. Okay. Let's see. Mediumship, clairvoyant, discernment. So some of you, like I said at the very beginning of the reading, you have gifts that are coming online, and that's for some of you why certain things in your life are falling apart at this time, is because it's time for you to step in more into your purpose, more into, thank you, Spirit, more into your calling, which we talked about. So for some of you, like I said, there's a connection that may be ending at this time, or that has left your life already, okay, or that is coming to an end, and it may feel harsh, and it may feel, you know, terrible and sudden, but for some of you, it's only feeling like that because that's how much you've been putting it off. For some of you, that's how long you've been ignoring it, or how long you've been trying to, maybe for some of you, make excuses for someone else. And this is Spirit's way of saying, no more. We're not doing that anymore. This connection is only holding you back from your calling. It's only keeping you from saying yes to what we're trying to give you, where we're trying to bring you to. It's keeping you from saying yes to your assignment, because the Judgment card in the tarot is a yes card. Okay, so some of you, that's why this connection, if that's what is happening, that's falling apart, is because it's keeping you from saying yes to your calling. It's keeping you from saying yes to, I'm ready to pursue my mission. I'm ready to be on assignment now, right? Some of you, that's why this is happening. But you are also being aligned to be highly compensated, to be heavily compensated, generously compensated, I should say, generously and abundantly compensated for you saying yes to your calling. Okay, now what I'm also getting here is, for some of you, this by you saying yes to this calling, some of you, it'll simultaneously, even if there is a partnership that's leaving or that has left your experience, it's also going to make room for someone else who is actually in that with you, who is on the same type of assignment you are, to make it easy to stay on track, to make it easier to stay on path, because you're both in alignment. See what I'm saying? It's easier to, you know, stay on the freeway, it's easier to stay on track if you're following a car that's staying on the same freeway you're following. You see what I'm saying? Or, you know, excuse me, thank you, Spirit, being, you know, next to a car that's going in the same direction versus one that's going off on a whole different exit and you're supposed to stay here. You see what I'm saying? So it feels like whatever is ending, it's only making room for something better that's more in alignment with your calling, that's more in alignment with where you're already going. Okay? And to me, that's like the best kind to have. I'd rather have a partnership that's in alignment with where my spirit is already guiding me, where it's like we can do this together side by side. You're doing your mission, I'm doing my mission, and we're able to, you know, meet in the middle and come together on our own missions, right? Versus having someone where your mission is taking you this way and their mission is taking them that way, and y'all are still trying to stay together and bring it in. It's just, it'll, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to pull you further and further from where you're supposed to be actually going and focused on. Okay. So, yeah. So this is what I have for you, collective. I really trust that this reading will be supportive to those who needed it. I feel like I will maybe do a separate video because this one's already going to be long enough and that affects the upload time and space and all that good stuff. So I'm going to do a separate video that will just pull a card for all the signs for this new moon. Okay. So I love y'all so much. I trust this reading was supportive to you. If it was, I'd love to hear about it. Please feel free to drop it in the comments. It may support someone else who's on the same journey with you. And yeah, please feel free to also check out any offerings that I might have, as well as digital products on Beacons or Gumroad. Elevate Your Energy. Okay. I love y'all so much. And the links are in my are in the description box. Until next time, howdy.